Okay, well, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've got some talks where I just talk my ear off and stuff that I was pissed off about, stuff that was going on in my life, just interesting stuff. If somebody would want to come by and turn around and go, okay, well, that's Sarah Lee. So anyway, I'm going to start off with singing. I've got probably 200-300 hours of singing on one of my computers. I just have to find out where it's at. I produce that through. I'm going to do this YouTube thing. And I'm going to start off with singing the Van Halen straight through. Hopefully I can do that. That's quite a lot, a lot for a pregnant girl. Oh yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, I wanted to find a way to make a little extra cash and try to start something else going. And I think this would be really fun. I was going to do this anyway, just to leave it out there and look for a gig. Um, I don't know. I might end up with the Sina group over there. The Dean Riley was sitting, or she was standing over there by the bus. There wasn't any place for me to get over, so I couldn't talk to her, pick her up, or say hi or anything. How are you? And are we going to start singing together? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's probably going to be them, but it could be Foreigner, it could be Steve Perry, it could be Van Halen, it could be David Allen Cole. But David Allen Cole's not doing much anything. But Air Supply was also interested in me too. I thought he was going to have me walk on stage with him when I was over there. I almost grabbed the microphone from him and singing. He cocked his head back, and I was over there in Washington. I had a bad day. I was driving a truck. I was getting ready to quit the company. I've been there 10 years. I was just really pissed off at him. He saw me, started walking towards me, and I turned around and walked away because he dated Laura. I didn't want to say anything about it. So he dated her, and I think he was going to ask me if I wanted to come on stage with him. I would have probably quit right there if he would have, taken it further. But he turned around and left. We both nodded at each other, acknowledged that we knew each other. But I didn't go to any of their concerts because I wasn't into the whole rock and roll party area like a lot of them were. Back when I was in the military, yeah, that was fine because that was a party lifestyle. But I don't know, I'm kind of over that stage. My favorite joke is 61 going on 16. Maybe on the way and everything else. It's been quite an interesting ride. This is my favorite shirt, by the way. My New York pants, I threw them out. I was going to try to sew them, but I'm going to start looking for my own dresses and everything else. I'm going to get my name changed. Ally Bank, the one I've been having problems with, they wrote me a letter saying they wanted to resolve what's going on. I figured out that they lost 2 new contracts. Um, I've got a few accounts, and I've got one that's got enough to pay for the card, and I think I'll just buy it from them and turn around and work a deal and have them follow their contract, and I'll do what I was supposed to. Now, all I have to do is write up the paperwork, and I'm going to take everything to court this week. So I should end up winning everything. Now, I'm missing $600,000 that they had on an account that they got a hold of it and did something to it. Now, I think the account protects itself. So I think it's in limbo until I put the right codes in and get the right information from the right people. They want me to go to California. So I got a feeling that Randy's going to fill my car full of fuel and give me a couple $100 and sit here and go fix the road. I'm going by myself, pregnant. So I'll end up down at Diana's house and I'll go back over to California. I'll go back over on the way back and hit Sacramento, and then I'll come back up through the hills that way. It's going to be a long, long, hard trip, but I've got to do it. I mean, either I fly out there, which I hate flying commercially. Now, I was reading this extraterrestrial, and I remember this person. Actually, it's a being. The being that was there, I remember it. And he's looking from the statue of your family, from the accomplishments of your family, and the general nature of the beings that you guys are, and everything that you have accomplished over the years for Willie. So, in other words, they were going to get involved, which means I either go to work for NASA, or they just come out and get me whenever they need me, or they come out and help me out on my situation, because they're going to make sure I get that. I mean, that's one of those things that I worked hard for. The family worked hard for. We've been working on that for years now. And it's just all kind of disappeared. But I don't think, like the guy said from the other place, he said he didn't think it would anywhere. He just thinks it's going to be hard to get because it's had so many problems. Now, Greg, the guy over there at Oregon, was a jerk to me. I mentioned fraud, he freaked. Call our customer service and never call my bank again. I would say, Greg, you realize I could buy your bank if I wanted to? You pissed me off. So I was going to join the FBI and go to work for this CBF on the thing because it really helped me out. I've got FBI on my paperwork. I filled out basically an online application form as far as I'm telling them, okay, they said, do you really want to go to work for us? They kind of thought about it. Said, you realize you're talking to the FBI? I said, yeah. Well, I know that, but it's kind of funny, the situation, the family, but what do you expect from a military brat, right? So anyway, make a long story, all this is going on, all this has happened, and everything else, and I have the opportunity to see these albums that I wanted to see, and I found some that I really, really liked, and it's Rock About Daily. Cats are used to me singing, just over there smiling, everything, just happy that I'm around. Love living here with Brandy and the cats. My cousin's not doing good. She's got to quit her party life, otherwise I might get another phone call. She probably would have called me. Like I said, that money went everywhere. To my friends, with my high school friends, with my family. It's one of those things. I think she was trying to buy everybody and make me look bad. That's what Biden's doing with the government. It's the same sort of thing. Yeah, it'll come around. It's just one of those things. It is. It's a time frame. What am I going to do when I get it? So here, Brandy's giving me $100 a week. He said he was going to do that. I said, just give me 50. It comes out to $5,000 a year. Okay, he pays all the bills. I do all the cooking. I take care of the house. I'm going to take care of the baby and everything else. He's going to work until we retire. We're probably going to move closer to Steamboat. Not because I don't like it here. I love the people here. I mean, once I talk to them, we're instant friends. Everybody loves me. It's kind of hard to meet somebody that, you can't get mad at. But it's one of those things it is. I'm in a weird situation, and I'm just doing the best I can. And we're all supposed to love each other. So I've been talking about stuff that's been going on. I've been all over Facebook. Been honest about the military and extraterrestrial. Like I said, I know that when I sent the video. And he was pretty concerned, not for my well-being, but, just that I was being financially raped. Didn't like that. So, anyway, now, the cosmic joke is, Dad was a prince, came out of the Netherlands. Okay, so they were a royal rich kid from the beginning. Grandpa, great-grandpa was Jonathan Pruitt, the commander. Grandpa was Pablo Shinawise. I think he was the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy. He looked just like him. Now, he could have made his money out of the military. Carlos Santana is my cousin. And I just called Donald because today I can get away with that, but I can't get away with calling him Grandpa. He'd be like, okay, you're drafted, definitely. I told him if they needed me, just go ahead and draft me. But, I don't want to go here. I'm not going to do anything. I'm retired. And I definitely don't like rich people. I definitely don't want to be in that situation. Listen to some stupid screaming Pulaski. Paco will probably walk up over there and get a Brady and say, Pulaski, how come nobody's knocked you out yet? You've got the attitude that you really need to be bitch slapped. Oh, that pisses them off, but what are they going to do? They can't do anything to me. I'm the highest ranking officer around. But I would not want to play that game, and I don't want to work with Donald either. That would bring back too many memories. Let me show you this picture. This is my picture, one of the pictures I have left. Me and Princess Diana dating. Now, back over, I got hurt in Korea. I was down for 3 months. Diana came along and turned around and ended up helping me out. So anyway, we got Me over there working with Princess Diana in England. 94. She goes out on tour. She goes to a lot of people and everything else. And I have some really cute pictures I want to show. And I got mad at her. And I mentioned something about that on my thing. And next thing I know is Dad pulled me from her. We were dating. I think they had somebody else in mind. They didn't want me to be part of the royal Rich family because I had views and ideas that were different than what they wanted to do. They knew that, so they got me out of the equation. Well, they couldn't kill me. For some reason, I survived everything. And I think if you're good enough and you don't do anything wrong, and you do what the planet wants, it protects you. I think that's what's going on. Here's a baby picture. It's it's got scribbled on here. Everybody thought I was going to die. I have a home heart. I bought myself one of these. Mom bought one of these. That's me at 15. Tell me I don't look like a girl. There's my mom wrote that. This is Princess Diana. I was watching her. That's her over there. You could look at it. She looks kind of nervous because I'm her martial arts instructor. Beautiful girl. We were close. That's me back when I thought I was a guy. There's another one. She hates the camera. Like to get a picture of that because they get bombarded by pictures. I think it's Halloween. She was dressed up like a guy. She's teasing me. This is what I would look like as a guy, right? And then there's one with me and Dad. Way back when Dad was young. It's a long time ago. But that's what I have left. Now, I sat over here and told somebody that I was their daughter, and I had pictures. Somebody came in and snagged all my pictures, and this is what I have left. Well, there's the proof. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for kudos or anything else like that. What I'm doing is I'm trying to give you the basics about my life, so when I go in and talk about all these tangents that I talk to, this and that and everything else, and go on that, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. I love entertaining people. I love making people laugh. Because if they laugh and I'm laughing, then everybody's happy when you're laughing. I don't like war. I don't want to fight anymore. If I have to, I will. I'll defend the country if I have to. If I get involved, chances are you guys are going to lose. But I don't want to go that routine. I'd rather do what I'm doing. I'm happy here with Randy. It's an easy lifestyle. I really love the person I'm with. I couldn't have done better. But getting over Diana was hell. I went over to my cousin's house. My grandma's in. Grandma married Jim McMahon, the wrestler. Jim came around about the time I was 15, about the time I was in those leotards. Pink leotards? It was so funny. I thought I was a guy. I was the only one that didn't know. Well, I knew it. It's just I didn't feel it. Anyway, the joke was Jim McMahon was a gold digger. Now, Grandma had money. Dad had money. The military, face it, they made a whole lot of money. Now, Jim and I went down to the base, 85. Went over house at 95, 10 years later. So anyway, I get in a room with the guy. Oh, you want some? Oh, he kicks my ass. He throws me out of the ring. I roll out of the ring. He drops me down, I flip up and I roll, and he comes up, hits me, and I end up rolling backwards, and fall off the thing. Okay, so I hop back in, I put my hand out, he pulls it up there and goes, "You want some more?" Oh, I laid into him. I gave him a high spinning kick. He ducked underneath it. Well, that's what I wanted to do. I followed up with a side kick. But I got a side kick. I got underneath his arm when he tried to get a right cross on me. I went underneath his armpit. I gave him a hip throw, which is a judo flip. Wham! Dropped on him and hit him in the stomach. And I turned around and gave him 5 stars right to his chest. Bam! Just like that, right? Well, anyway, he stops and he kind of shakes a little bit. We get up. I help him up. He goes, "You better stop this before somebody gets hurt." So anyway, I don't know how many lessons I had with Jim McMahon, but Bruce Lee was my karate instructor. And like I said, I'm a galactic military federal marshal. So anyway, that happened. He married his grandma, and they called him a gold digger. But we had a lot of fun. I ended up drunk one night, fell down the stairs, upside down. Jim came home, I was thrown up all over the stairs. Grandma cleaned it up and everything, and they talked about it. Jim and Grandma were great. I mean, they were awesome. But face it, I was drunk, I was stoned. My cousin Russell wanted to hit on me all the time. I mean, yeah, whatever, dude. I mean, that was all right. It didn't bother me too much. But when David said it, well, if you're not into your cousin, and I'm not into my grandma either. If you're not into your cousin or your grandmother, you could end up with me. And he goes, all the girls in town chase me. Everybody wants to go out with me. And I said, dude, I barely know you. I mean, I'm not going to come out here for the summertime just to cool off and forget about friends. And he goes, did you really go out with Princess Diana? I said, yes, it was my girlfriend. What happened? We were going to get married. It didn't work out. Why did she dump you? Well, I was her bodyguard. I got pulled off the mission. And we decided, well, let's just go ahead, and if we're going to be going our separate ways, we might as well just be friends. Imagine losing somebody like that. God, what a person she was. I told Dad, I said, Dad, we can't protect her. When I said I can't protect her, guess what? I was off the case. Oh well, heartbroken. Anyway, probably the best thing. So I ended up with Randy, and I like him just as much, if not more. When he's a guy, too, he's not going to get upset when I get emotional. Preach, he's not going to ignore me because I can't protect him. Then again, he's not a prince either. So that brings that part out. What else was I going to say? I was going to meet this girl in Florida, and we were talking. I don't know where it was going to go. I don't know. I was going to say, Randy, you want to bring somebody else in our politics. So when I told Donald that I said I had a friend that lives in Florida, he goes, "What is he on Congress? You can come over here and live with us. We need a bodyguard." I'm like, no, I don't want any part of that. Not that I don't love him. I called him because a couple of days ago or yesterday on the computer. I don't think I can get away with calling him Grandpa, but I can get away with calling him Cuz. I don't know if we're related or not. We might be. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. Sometimes you don't know all your family anyway. Well, all that happened, all that went on and everything. When I saw the pictures, well, I have my memory erased. That part about the guy in MIB when Zeb gets his memory erased. I had a hard time after Diana. I was falling down drunk. I didn't care if I lived anymore. I think if somebody would have tried something, I would have just probably left anyway. I had lost my whole world, and it was rough. I was driving a truck, and I was by myself a lot. Body started to change. I went to the doctor and tried to figure things out. He would help me, and he started to get close and everything because I had a couple of miscarriages. Well, I didn't know I was being farmed. I didn't know I was living with the Colt activist either. I was. A few of them anyway. Like I said, I was going to shut him down, and I did a pretty good job of it. I almost got him all shut down. I'll just leave it where it is right now. Everybody's kind of fine and happy the way they are when you did it up. So I'm just going to leave it alone. But anyway, this It was a mess, and it's been one mess after another. My friend Diana, adult girl, told me to. Somebody was picking on me one day because I just got pregnant. I ended up pregnant. What happens pregnant? Go boom. I went boom right away. Walking around with double D's. I started buying bras and I outgrown, so I quit buying. Now I just don't even wear them. I can't find anything that fits right. But anyway, she said, "Why did you take a gift that you don't want?" I'm thinking, she's right. So one day I was talking to her and I was telling her, I said, you're at home on a nice warm sunny day, you're drinking martinis out by the beach, and your husband's over there in a storm being miserable. I called her up a week later and said, Diana, what are you doing? She's all, I'm drinking a tea out by the pool, or out by the ditch. So you're having a nice sunny day, you're drinking a tea. Might as well call it margarita, right? Yeah, if you want to. In your world, it could be a margarita. Okay, you're drinking a margarita. Guess where I'm at? I am miserable under this truck, putting on tires in the snow and having a terrible time of it. Didn't you predict that? I said, yeah. She just started laughing. I told that story till I told it to death. It was just kind of funny that it actually happened that way. So here I am talking to Diana. And like I said, she was in Korea and patched me up. If it's the same girl, I believe it was. She used to live in England. So, but anyway, I had a problem with some bank accounts, $130,000, credit cards, and everything else. So I'm putting together the rest of it tomorrow, and I'm going to take it Monday and take it to court. They're going to pay for it for me, so we're going to run that through, and it's going to be over $1.5 million that was stolen from me. Now, Valley Bank is my 1573 account. Either it's locked up or it's gone. If it's closed, then why was it closed and who closed it? Pull that kind of money out of my account. So they find out that all that happened and it did close it. I think that's trouble because I wrote for $700,000 to pay back what I want. The car I bought for 42. I paid 6,000 on it. 5,000 on down payment is what they wanted, and I gave it to them. They maxed out my credit cards and everything else, and then they just ran it over again and again and again. Capital One never let me pay it off. Chase let me pay it off. Wells Fargo was really good about it. I'm not going to do anything for them. But somebody was putting a minus 4,700, so I've got to sue Federal Credit Union Colorado, where Anthony Scarcella was. So I've been, messaging about stuff with him. I was going to arrest him. And Wes Brandon, Jordan Draper, them guys, I was going to arrest them too. Yeah, they're probably all listening to me. They're all on my cell phone and it's password. I'm not supposed to be like the trash and everything else. And also, I had a hard time with Ameritrade. I took my 1573 account. I bought 71 shares of Walmart, $7,000. I had 121 shares of Walmart. $351 I made in one day. They put my account in a Marshall there. I paid it off. They did it again. When I mentioned fraud, they closed my account. No, they owe me $15,088. That's going to court. The $130,000 from the credit cards are going to court. The $700,000 that I'm missing off my 1573 and the $33,000 I'm missing on 1237. Now, if I get all my accounts back, then I don't sue. Which I think when I get into courts, they're going to run all my accounts. Here, this is yours. They're going to give it to me. If not, I'm going to call Downey Grounds. Downey, where I got my trust from. I had to fire everybody. Dad wanted me to be on the trust. I said, no, it's going to be a mess. It was worse than what I thought. It's been hell. I mean, my sister died. The whole family's been impostered. I'm the only one left. But it's one of those things that maybe life's supposed to go that way to make you who you are. I don't know. It is what it is. Now, I'm having a hard time talking, and my voice is cracking. It's changing. Also, with the baby and everything else, well, might as well. Belly button's already about ready to pop out, so it is what it is. Like I say, I'm going to change the way I dress, change my name, and just do the whole thing. It's easier for me. I didn't mind being a guy, but it just wasn't wasn't me. This is more me than that. It was. No, this is the school right here. I outgrew this one. I think it's like a 34 double B. I'm not sure what it is, but I completely outgrew it. I can't wear it. I've got some bigger ones over there that I've outgrown. It's just kind of, I don't know, it just is what it is. I'm just weird, you know. It's about the same, but it's, I don't know. I met a girl named Laura, and I dated her. What was this last name? I knew her when she was young. I was 19, she was 16. I actually called the police station. Talked to my friend. I said, you know, I met this girl, blah, blah, blah. You're 19, she's 16. That's not a big deal. If you were 20 and she was, you know, a little younger, well, I found out she was like, what, 14 and a half or whatever. 3.5 years difference. So she lied about her age. At the time, her dad shot himself. Now, he wanted me to come in and talk to him that day, and I just couldn't do it. One, he was scared. Two, I didn't want to have to fight her dad. And the last thing I wanted to do was knock him out. She ended up with another boyfriend named Bob Stark. The guy knocked me down one day. He got lucky. I didn't get out of the way because I didn't think he was going to hit me. When I got up, I came up swinging, but I stopped. And he approached me a while back. After that, he goes, how far did you get in that karate? I said, you know, the only reason why you dropped me and I didn't knock you out is because I didn't want to hurt Laura's feelings. You ever try that again, that will knock you out. You won't get up. I just stared at him and walked away. I moved in with him for a while, so we were pretty good friends. He just hit me anyway. Well, I realized then he was dating her. Her dad shot himself. I went into the house to get her paperwork and stuff like that, the box that they wanted. Those guys wouldn't go in the house. None of them would. There were three of them. All of them were bigger, stronger, you know, small dude. I walked in there, grabbed it, and I could feel him. Now, when he passed away, I was in plastic bubble for 6 months, so I died a couple of times. I did that on a recurring basis all the way up till I was about 15, and I pretty much stabled out. My parents put me on birth control. At the time I was 8, 9 years old. Why are you guys putting me on birth control? That went around everywhere. You're on it pretty young, aren't you? Yeah, shut up. Well, anyway, make a long story short, they didn't know what to expect. They didn't know if it was going to fertilize inside or whatever they were going to do, so they did that. So I ended up going through all that stuff and everything else. And it's just been one mess after another. Everything worked out to where I'm happy. Happiest I've been in a long time. I was happy when Jim McMahon was around too, but I had to leave him. Dad wanted me to stay with him because he said he could raise him better. Not that he could, probably. Me and Leslie didn't get along, and Mom was afraid of me and beat the crap out of me every chance she got, just where she grew. She's bigger and faster than I was, or whatever the deal was. She wasn't. She knew it. Also, she was afraid of losing me. She didn't want me to go on the circuit and end up. So she sent me over in the summertime to see what I wanted to do, if I was going to come back or not. So I came back and I missed my friends. And I told Dad, I said, why'd you come back? I said, well, you know, at least that I'm here, at least my cousins aren't hitting on me. Yeah, that's true. Everybody in the world always had that with me. I don't know why. I guess it's charisma or back to the funny and loving and everything else. Now back to the car. I'm probably going to buy the car tomorrow and work another loan with it. I give it to him, like, it doesn't really matter. I think when I go to court through the week, I'll probably wait till that's over before I make a decision on what I do. So I was going to sing Van Halen all the way through, but I don't think I'm going to make it tonight. I'll start singing a couple cuts and go from there and just dub it to it. I've been talking a half hour. I'm already getting kind of tired. But I will listen to this for about 6 months. And like I say, I see it. Randy told me when I first started singing to him, my voice was changing. He said, don't sing comfortably enough. I push up. I had one problem with patience. It's kind of tricky. It's parts. I had 7 cuts of that. Everything I usually sing the first or second cut. So you give me a song, give me the lyrics, I can sing it. You know, all I need to know is know the notes and everything. It won't take me long to figure it out. But anyway, I think that's why Riley wanted me to sing with his wife and sing around him. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll run into each other eventually. I think I'm gonna stay home for a while because the baby. I have a rough time. But anyway, I'm gonna make a wrap of this. I'm gonna go ahead and get my album on there. Go ahead and sing it. So I'm gonna split it right here. And, well, thanks for showing up, and hope you enjoy my show. And if you don't, well, thanks for watching. But like I say, I get on Facebook and I rattle off and I write the story, and I'm getting ready to write a book. Well, let me get into that too. I was going to write a book because my friend said, you know, you're really talented. And Yancy said, well, maybe we'll see you singing in the Mormon church one day, because I sang Holy Night in church. I lit it up, and they were like, wow. I also sang at the Christian church I went to, and was singing something about in your arms or something like that. I thought that was really good too. But you know, you can tell when I sing that there's more there than just it's more girl than boy. And it's really, you know, nice to listen to because I love the way I sing. And I was seeing um, Open Arms over at the pool hall, and David Allan Coe was there. And I call him Biker Dave. Lie here beside you, here in the dark, feeling your heartbeat and mine. So I'm singing the whole song, and he goes, "Can you sing in front of a lot of people?" I go, "Like a bar?" I said, "Well, I'm not in a backyard bar, so I used to bounce, and I don't want to go into it anymore." He said, "No, a stadium." I thought he was screwing around. Then he said he needed a bus driver. Then I was working on the Eagle Vision for Laura. I rebuilt the Pontiac the Eagle Vision same weekend. I had to redo the motor of the Eagle Vision. It took me 9 hours. But found out later on it was David Allan Coe because we got in a fight. And, you know, go figure, being women, yeah, I'm too emotional for him. She said, I need a man that doesn't whine all the time. Well, you hurt my feelings, I'm going to cry. Sorry, it's a girl thing. So Randy kind of figured out that I'm a woman and I'm not a little girl anymore. So anyway, I'll go back to the David Allan Coe story, and then I'll go back to my frog story. So anyway, David Allan Coe, he wants to help me out in the car. He says, "Oh yeah, I work really well for my friends." So Laura and I separate. I take off. I end up in Tennessee. Is David coming in concert? I should pull with that guy. It's David Allan Coe. I didn't know that. You should pull with him. How's he shoot? Pretty damn good. Called Biker Dave. You know he's a famous country western star. I had no idea. How long you know? 4 years. You're kidding, right? He hangs over at the American Legion. You want to go out and meet with him? Friday night, go down to Monterey. We'll meet him. So anyway, they call up my friend Larry Freeman. These are some of the names that I remember that I forgot about a while back. Called him up, said, Larry, guess what I saw in the music store? Biker Dave, or David Allan Coe. Yeah, how'd you know? I've heard rumors. Dude, I bought his album. The guy rocks. He goes, his wife is an attorney. He's an electrician. He's going to hire me. There's like 4 or 5 people who wanted to hire me when I left Monterey. And I just, I need to get hired. So I went back to Grand Junction. It was kind of rough. So, legend of the sword. That's going to be all about me in the past. My friend goes, Steve, you can't write that story. You can't write that story. You can't write that story. Then one of the guys goes, Steve, I work for the government. You cannot write that story. Okay, I'm going to write. So I went over to the park in Grand Junction. And I'm the only girl in the world who stands up to pee. Don't ask. Sometimes I do both. Sometimes I can't make it. It goes out the bottom. I'm standing up and there's 2 black widows in there. And I'm just pissing on these black widows. It's a good thing I didn't sit down. Well, I was 4 months pregnant, 3 months pregnant. Now I think I'm like 6 or 7. Maybe 8 or 9. I don't know. But I'll have to go back to the doctor. But I don't want to go. It's one of those things that doesn't matter. But whatever. I'm fine. So anyway, I tell this black girl that I'm pissing on these black widows and stuff like that. I said, man, it's a good thing I didn't sit down on that. And I'm telling the guys, I said, do not go in there and sit down on that bathroom because Black Widows in there. In fact, I'm still the Ranger when I go home. I make a call. I tell them about the Black Widows in there. So I wrote a story. Says, yeah, you can even tell a black lady about Black Widows as long as you make her laugh first. I said, ma'am, are you married? She said, I'm divorced. I said, how many times? And I looked at her and went, oops, I'm very, very sorry. I want somebody gave her a big old hug, and she's all, and I'm like, ah. We had a lot of fun. She's a good sport about it. It was kind of funny. So that happens. So I go to the campground, right? And I'm gonna write campfire stories. This is my next one. I was gonna go to Oklahoma Hills, and I was going to pitch a tent. I was gonna scare the shit out of myself. It's really dark out here by myself in this tent, right? What was that? Let me go ahead and start a plan and everything. I gotta get a fire going too. It's getting really cold out here. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna start writing stories. I've got all these ideas in my head. I've got these 7 books of stories about a guy who goes out to runs into an older guy he knew a long time ago, and then he turns around and talks to these kids in his store. Next thing you know, they see this guy and find out it's this long grandpa that's been coming around and everything else. So they're being visited by a ghost? No, they're being visited by his spirit. He really shows up down there and straightens kids out. So one guy kids straightened out. That became a part of a movie. Then what else we could talk about? The guy coming by who comes in and this guy sits down at the park. And he goes, yeah, I'm an old rocker, blah, 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 because he knew about this, a lot of people know I used to play and why I didn't go. Steve, the guy over there from the Journey from, not Journey, but the guy from Pink Floyd, the drummer, was in my apartment complex, wanted me to go out and play with him. The kids that opened up for Aerosmith wanted me to go out and sing with them. It's just one of those things, everybody hears me sing, they want me to play with them. I just did not like that rock and roll, drunk and belligerent, party and seeing it, first they get into pot, which is okay. That's fine. That I get in. But when they get into coke, the thing about coke is, well, I tried to like it. I didn't like it. But when you get into coke, you want more and more and more and more. Then the meth heads get pissed off because you're doing coke. So then the meth heads start going after you because they know you're a coke addict. Then once you get meth, and then you're really fucked up. And it's kind of like, okay, I got coke here, I got meth there, I go, how much is that? And then you don't care about pot anymore. Then you actually know you're a drug addict. I grew up in San Diego. It's exactly like that. A lot of my friends died, and the ones that died wanted to die. And some of them that lived are still alive. They all wanted to live. I dated this guy, Dave Hansen. Okay, the story is that we were supposed to go on this plane to Catalina Islands together. My sister let everybody know that I was unisex and I had everything. So everybody, like I said, everybody was hitting on me. Anyway, make a long story short, Leslie just let everybody know. Dave and I was his karate instructor. We were pretty good friends. We've known each other since like way, way little. We got close. I went on the Deep Space program. I went on the Aurora. I got 5 years in Saratoga Project at 14. They recently paid me $500,000 a year for it. It's in accounts, so I have to find where it's at. I think it was in the 1573. So anyway, to make a long story short, we fell in love. He went off to the islands. The plane crashed. Okay. I saw Andre with a big old family a while back, 10 years ago. Didn't see anything sign of Dave. Now, I see Dave Hansen. It looks like my old friend. He was kind of short. I think it's a different guy. But I'm seeing this Dave Hansen thing, and all right, what happened to Andre and his family? So that's how I was going to talk to Andre, but I didn't want to bring back all those feelings because he really missed Dave. He asked me out after that. I'm thinking, I don't think I could date you after being him. I said, give me a couple months to get over this. I gotta let the cat outside. He wants to go outside. Do this while I'm home. I Peaches. He's my favorite kitty right here. He sleeps with me most of the time. Sometimes I'll sleep with him. He's like very hard. Let him sleep with me. So anyway, make a long story short, all that's going on. Okay. But yeah, I would have dated Andre. I came back and Dave was gone and he already had a girlfriend. I said, well, I see you already found somebody. So, oh, you don't have to leave. You can stay. And I'm like, that's all right. Seems like everybody would be done with PS. Guys, girls, it's just awful. But it's quite educational. So anyway, I ended up, I married my husband. I ended up falling in love, and now we're having kids. I had a kid on the deep space program out there. This is the weird part. This is totally fucking weird. Uh, Rick and Marty did a series on this. Their second show. I just laughed my head off. It was funny. Yeah, when you go to the other places, you don't age. When you go through the tunnels and everything else, it looks just like some of those videos where you go through the. That's basically how it looks when you're traveling. It happens like that, but it doesn't. You run through, you get there. Now, when you leave and come back, it's been 54 years. So I go into this place where I was the law of the land. They don't have this. That's what they're trying to do here. Well, it's not going to work under our system. It can't. So anyway, all this is going on and everything. I needed to get their attention. So I wanted to blow up the building. So I called Dad. Well, what do you want to do? Well, I'm going to evacuate it. Then I'm going to blow it up and we're going to rebuild it. That's a good idea. Why don't you do that? All right. Tell everybody else, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what we can do if we want to go by force. Or you can listen to us and try another way of life that works, where you're not all fighting with each other, you get along, you help each other. We can try that, because these guys are basically cannibals. They're half human, half this. And by the way, mankind has been so infatuated with aliens and stuff like that. There aren't any more pure humans. We're all some sort of part alien. I was explaining Randy's exes, but you're an alien, you're an alien. I'm just off. Oh, shut up. It's 5 years later, she thinks it's cool being an alien, so she wanted to be one of them. I don't know how he's put up with it, but anyway. Kid's kicking my ass. It happens. Well, anyway, we blow up the building. We're like, one thing's there, 1 second it's gone. It's an antimatter gun. It's kind of cool because it's like, it goes, yeah. Well, we rebuild it. So I go to the park and I hang out by myself and everything else. This guy comes up and thanks for that. I appreciate you. Who are you? Blah, 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 blah. We start talking. Next thing you know, we're going for walks for each other. Next thing you know, we're holding hands. Everybody's looking at us like, that's the Antichrist. No, it's not. She's nice. So I have a kid. I call up Dad. Guess what? I'm pregnant. She says, stay there. Then he tried to explain that when you go back next time, they're all going to be old and gone. Yeah, sure, Dad. What have you been smoking? But by the way, he's the one that said, you might want to do some of those drugs. My Christian dad that raised me as a hardcore Christian. I'm not that way. I'm more of an atheist that believes in Christ. How many people can say that they're a naturalist, it's a spiritualist, it's part atheist, and part Christian? The part that Christ tried to teach us was to love everybody. Catholic Church come along, was to make money off it. My friend Larry said, I said, crazy. Well, that's what you got. For somebody deep space program and to the shit that happened to me, I was on a planet all by myself. I got hurt. The shipwreck. Finally made it there. I always walked in and I walked out. Yeah, we had all kinds of tools and everything else. I just got to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm walking. I turned around and I lost the team one year. The team went down. I forgot what happened. The team went down and I lost everybody. So like, the dad said, you know what? I'm just going in. What's your plan? I'm going to get caught. Now, the first 5 years I had to do what they wanted. They made me a galactic federal marshal because I was really good at what I did. I was really good at negotiating. And I knew how to solve problems. And I knew how to stop fighting. I just said, wait, okay, let's go. Let's fight. And I always won. So anyway, they made me galactic federal marshal. Now, my last 9 years, I came in every couple months and I'd stay out, all the time. And being out a couple months at a time with that, you don't really realize how far time goes because you've got your house there, you have everything else, your friends are waiting for you to come home, they know you're gone and everything else, but they don't know what you're doing, and I can't tell them what you're doing. Okay, well, anyway, one day this other guy came by, this military guy, and I got drunk. Oh man, I spilled my guts and learned to sit there. Wow, so you're a space cadet. Yeah, I'm a space cadet. So anyway, back to the guy, the Canadian. And I break up a lot because I got a lot that I want to get out. I'll talk for 10 minutes and I'll start to. Anyway, this guy is up here talking about this county man that wants to be a rock star. So he goes up and he comes in and pulls these guys over in his horse to smoke a pot. You can. Well, you can't drive that up here. You can't smoke this up here. You've got to, get rid of the pot or you got to, I'm going to have to write your ticket. He comes in and goes, play a guitar? Yeah. You see? Yeah, we need another band member. How long have you been doing that? Oh, 40 years, so you can retire, right? Yeah, I was going to retire next year anyway. Why don't you tie the back of the horse, come by here, and you're hired. No audition, no nothing? We trust you, you're a ranger, you're not going to lie to us. So anyway, he, he joins him, takes the horse, puts it in a corral somewhere, or takes it back to work, calls up to work, say, hey, quit, I'm going to go up with this band over here, and ends up being a rock star. That's funny to go. I got that from the park, just because the guy said it happened to him. So, back down to, where were we? Covered Andre, which is really sad, but I don't know if that's Dave or not. I think it's somebody else. It's not the Dave Hansen idea. But I know these guys that have 20, 30 friends that don't want to talk to me now. When Mark was around, did I tell you about shooting the car being done 3 feet from the door? Oh God, that was fun. I saw the guy. He was over at Grand Junction. And he was one of the Alexander brothers that I had to arrest. And I followed him down through the tunnel. We went down underground. And yeah, I can still get in. I know the code, but I can still get in. And I went down on the train, followed him all the way across, and got in and caught him on the other side in China. And we were around in this building. And I had Dad on the phone. I said, Dad, I got him. He's right over here. Ooh, Alexander Greg. You got him? I said, yeah. You want me to pull the trigger? Because he got the contract. Just bring him in. I'm going to shoot him. Because there's a bunch of people in there, and I can't really get in. I mean, I have this chance, and this is it. Daddy's moving. You can't fire it 6 feet from the door. Bam! I go backwards, knock the door behind me. He goes forward, slams him to the ground, come down. I lock him up, I lock him out, I handcuff him, I take him away, right? I get back in there and I had a bruise on my back and everything. I had this big old monster twice my size, but I'm throwing around and everything else. People in there just kind of like, okay, whatever. Well, anyway, they trafficked 284 kids there, and they gave him 12 hours to talk, execute him. when they got the rest of the game, they didn't give me 12 hours. They just executed it. Yeah, it's pretty sad out there. It's really kind of sucks. I'd get these envelopes and these stuff. Well, if you don't go, nobody else is. Dad would sit me down in his office, slide the paper over, look at it. Okay, on my way. My team ready? After Diana, I had my memory erased for 8 years. And they did that. And I got drunk one night, went down to 48 Club Shop Pool in San Diego. I'm a fairly good pool shooter. I was going to go pro. And I ran into Billy Gray, Casadero. He never missed a shot. I won the first 4 games. I tried a 5-rail bank combo on a 9-ball, hung it on the edge. He broke around. I took the money in his car, came back, and asked me if I was ranked anywhere. He said I'm ranked 6th in the world. So get yourself some money together, a couple $100, or you can hang out with me and we go play these pool tournaments. Don't waste your time with these small guys. Well, I got a job and everything else. Quit your job. You got a chance. I was ranked about 30th. I went up to about 10th in the Southern California Billiards Tour. I got kind of bored with it and quit. You know, got tired of pool. Married Kennedy. It didn't work out right. We fought all the time. I figures I divorced her. We weren't really married. This pastor said I will. I came over here, spent the first year with Randy. You know, let's get married. He was talking about it. I said, I'm not going to be married. Let's get close to the Cavs, close to Blue, and just, how do I explain it? When I finish my book, I've got a lot of stories I write on Facebook. I've got a lot of stories that I'm going to write. I wrote 53 pages one night. I'm going to finish it probably here in the next month or so, publish it. And I'm going to start off the book saying, well, you know, give my little prologue and everything else, and my storybook ideas. I'm going to say, when I was born, they wanted to make me a guy because they thought that was more developed. The female side, they tried to cover up. They cut off a clit, everything else. It still works, but it's kind of not the way it should be. I still square, and I still come 30 minutes, probably. TMI, sorry, it is 32 centimeters. But anyway, nobody else can say that. Anyway, all this happens and everything, and then I get tired. I get tired, I jump around and I forget. But, the pool. Billy moved to that little park over there by, it's a horse preserve out there just on the other side of Grand Junction. I moved into town. I never ran into him again. I've seen him a couple times in town. I forgot what he looked like and everything else. Uh, Tony, Tony Chase. Yeah, he's that Chase. That's one of the banks that screwed me over. In the end, they tried to make it up. They didn't really get to where they can do anything. What's minus is minus. They can't fix it. Tony Chase was ranked 10th in the States. Me, Billy, Tony, Lyle, played pool team. And I was an up and coming pool player. I mean, I was probably ranked maybe 5th after all the fall center. I beat Tony quite a few times in a band, stick on the table. Let's play for money. I said, no, I'm going to play for money. But anyway, it's just one of those things that happen. Yeah, the guy's name was. One of the guys that we played, I met Casa de Oro, and I come in and break and run. Let's play for money. Let's play for $100 a game. I look at the guys, no, you guys have your game. I'm going to go someplace else. And I have my favorite places where I used to hang out. I used to hang out at Lakeside Hotel. And then Ron went around. Ron Barrow, CJ's brother. Oh, we go to this bar with my cousins. They want to get drunk. Great. So we're out playing pool. And Ron comes around. The bartender doesn't want to serve. I don't serve black people. I said, dude, what's the beer serve? So I've been going out there with these guys and hanging out. Now, the guy that I knew at Kimtronics, he was 6'4", 220. These guys were all a little bit bigger than me. I was the smallest one. Now, I come in there, Mike Shortland. I come in there. This is my last story. And Mike Shortland comes in there. Steve, you got a problem? I said, no, this guy says he was going to turn around and hit me. And I said I was going to outrun him before he got to the door. I'll be in my car before he swings. And he was talking about these guys that turn around and knock you out and see how far you land. I said, you're not going to hit me. We're going to be friends with them. And they were doing that when I was hanging around. So, I talk about a fight. And I said, I don't want to hit that guy. He looks bad enough the way he is. I said, did you see how sad his girlfriend was? Come on, don't make it worse on the guy. So I started drinking with these guys and became friends with them. Lakeside Hotel had a pimp. It was a prostitution ring up on top. I never went up there. I threw a couple people out of the bar a couple times, different places where I go. I used to be a bouncer. But anyway, making a whole story in a nutshell. It's like, the only girl I really asked out was her. I mean, all the rest is kind of like, hi, okay. Be like this. I'd be over here, I'd be over here. I'd be over here. Hi, hi, okay. But anyway, I didn't know how to ask anybody out, but it's just one of those things that I just need to play the game. Well, I'm going to start singing. I'm a little tired, but I'll go ahead and cut the album. I'll probably break it apart. Sing a little tonight, sing a little in the morning, and then sing a little when Randy's not around. She's got to sleep during the day one night, so this is the hour that I have. So I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to sing maybe all the way up to right now in the Van Halen 2019. It starts off with Pound Cake, Judgment Day, then it goes to Judgment Day. It's got a few more songs, and then it's Right Now, When It's Love, and then Spanked, and Round and Round. I think that's the cut over there. Probably going to see. Maybe I'll get it tomorrow. I'm pretty tired. That's a full hour. Like I said, I have no problem cranking out stuff that a lot of people are going to go, that's really interesting. You live an interesting life. It's really funny the way you put out your misery in there and turn it into a joke. I said, yeah, that's what you got to do with life. I'm itching because the hormone balance is off, for the situation. I've got these bumps on my leg, do you hear, where they took a box and turned around and looked inside to see if I'd have any problems or not. Figured out I wouldn't, so they haven't been kind of going to go back to the doctor or anything. I'm sure they've done x-rays. I know they can break in here. People have been in here in and out. Like I said, my pictures are gone. A lot of my stuff's been stolen. I think my neighbors been doing it. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. I'll mention some of that later on when I start seeing it. I hate my hair itching. Well, let me go ahead and